Hello everyone, this is Mr. Buell. Today we're going to be talking about doing our research project that we are doing with our fourth grade. Now, in today's video we're going to be going through what we've been doing in part one, talking about finding the information, what sort of some things we're supposed to be thinking about when we are doing our research, and any other miscellaneous things we should probably think about while we are trying to find our information, like finding the source information so that we can credit it later. So again, research is going to be a very important thing that we're going to be doing because it's going to happen a lot later in our schooling. So the more we practice it with, the better we're going to be getting. So for right now, we are going to be researching turtles so that we can be talking about what are some things that we should, what are some things we might want to presenting. So what are some things that we're going to want to talk about when we find information about this place? So in order to do that, we have two things that are going to help you right now. So we have our Turtle Note-Taking Graphic Organizer, which is going to keep your notes of all the places that you got your information from. And right now we have Database Links, a place where we can get information from. So when you go through and you open up your Note-Taking Graphic Organizer, you're going to open up with Cami, and it should come up to a screen that looks like this. Right. So at the very top, you're going to write down what your research topic is. In this case, turtles. All right. So just for future reference, make sure that your font size for your research is going to be one that's big enough that you'll be reading, but not too small that's going to be unreadable. All right. So once you get that started up and you go through the database links, let's start with one that we've been talking about for the few weeks, Britannica. All right, so when we come to Britannica, what we're going to do is we are going to start searching for our turtle. So one thing we can do is we can search for just turtle. And see what information we can get from here. Now, there is a lot of information that we can get. Now, this is the reason why one of our previous classes we've been thinking about getting inquiry questions. So things that we might want to search up or focus on in our research. So let's see. Why don't we go with what do turtles eat? So I'm just going to quickly read through to see what it says in my article about what do turtles eat. Here we are. It says turtles eat worms, snails, insects, jellyfish, and shellfish. And some tortoises can eat plants. So I might want to include that information in there. So what I would do is start writing it out. So turtles can eat. So you'll probably include all of this, but I'm just going to quickly just show you how to write down. So turtles can eat. Let's see, what was it? It was worms, snails, and shellfish. Worms, snails, and shellfish. Okay, so that's just one note. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to find more than just one bit of information. You're going to put as much information you can down here. Now, once you get that information, you're going to need to be putting down the source information, so you're crediting the source. So this means that you're going to say that you've got this information from a particular place where it's a person who you would trust, who is reliable, who knows what they're talking about, so it gives you more credibility for your words, and also prevents plagiarizing, taking somebody else's words saying they're your own. So you can properly credit them without taking, or rather stealing, what they said. So in order to find the information from here, what you're going to do is you're going to type out the title, which in this case is going to be the article title, in which case it would be turtle. The author, now in the case of these databases, it's going to be the corporation that made them, because no single person made these particular articles. It might change in the future, but for right now, that's the case. So in this case, it's going to be Encyclopedia Britannica. So I'm just going to quickly copy this so that I'm saving on time. Okay, so you might have to change this up. So let me just quickly see if I can change the background. Okay, so that should do for now. Now the year, so usually for these databases, they're going to keep things up to date. So it's either going to be 2021 or 2020 at this point, because that's going to be the most current up-to-date thing. So for this case, since here it says for the copyrights, which is going to be when the says it's copyrighted, so it's protected for against plagiarizing. That's 2021. So that's what I'm going to use here. Unless the article states otherwise, that's what I'm going to use. And the link, now in order to do the link, you're going to go to your article. Up at the top, it's going to have your address. So you're going to hit Control. So in your bar, on your keyboard, you're going to hit Control, and you're going to hit C. And then in your note-taking graphic organizer, you're going to click right next to it and hit Control V. Now you can shrink this up like this, or again you can highlight it and change the font size to something a little smaller so it fits better. But that's the basic way you can get your information from. Now, also you might want to try some related articles as well. If you only had one article here, maybe you might want to see more about maybe a different type of turtle, because we have different types of turtles in Britannica that you can research, like leatherback turtle and sea turtle, because when looking up the different types of turtles, it helps you out more, shows you know more about turtles than just the generic idea of the species turtle. So that's for Britannica. Now, one that you perhaps have used before is PebbleGo. So PebbleGo is a very basic database where you can find information. Now, in order to get into this one, you are going to have to sign in. So in order to do that, the password is going to be FE Smith for the username, and the password is school. And if you ever are unsure about it, I've included it with this link. So FE Smith, password school. And you hit go. Now once you're here, again, you can start searching for your information about turtles. Now, you have ones for turtles and sea turtles. So just for a little variety, I'm just going to click sea turtles. So again, you're going to look through this for information. Now remember about things like subheadings, which can help with lengthy articles, find what you want. Now these little tabs here help you figure out where certain bits are going to be. So for instance, if I was still looking for food, I can look for what sea turtles eat. So it looks like they eat more of the stuff that's in the ocean, like jellyfish, crabs. So again, I go to a new box, and I can write down what I know about sea turtles. And I can just write down what I find. So, but that's up to you, what you want. Now, again, just keep looking through the different types of articles here to help you out. And you can read more if you want to see if you find more about, there's one on generic turtles as well if you want to look there. Now, for the information from here, the article name is going to be right here, sea turtles. So I'm just going to quickly show you. So right here, sea turtles. Author name is going to be another corporation, in which case this one's going to be Capstone, since Capstone is the one who made PebbleGo. Now the year, again, since I do not see a one around, I'm going to assume that it's going to be up to date, as all databases should be at this point. So I'm just going to write down 2021, and again, the link is going to be up at the top. So highlight, Control C, or you can right click and hit copy and go to your note-taking graphic organizer and paste with Control V. Again, shrink it down, move it around however you want to so you have enough space. Remember to save each box here for at least one article or one database so that you can try to use as many sources as possible. Because when we're doing research, you just don't go to one source and you're done. You go to many of them to help you find as much information as possible and make sure the information is correct. Because if one article is saying one thing, another saying a different one, then something might want to look into that. All right. Now the final one is one that's probably you haven't done before. This one's called Gale. So Gale is another type of database. Actually, it's a few databases that we can use. Now, getting into it has proven to be a little tricky depending on where you are. So the thing that you should do, so if you come up to this product menu here, you should be fine. But if it's asking you for a password, what you'll do is, I'm just going to quickly write down here so that you know. So if it ever comes up for you, what you will use is called Empire Link. So you'll just type out Empire Link right in the box that it's going to, if it's asking for a password, that's what you should want. So Empire Link, but if it brings you right to product menu here and you see all these little icons down here, then you're fine. So what you're going to use for this one is called Gale in Context Elementary. So going in, we have lots of things we do. We can search by the subjects here or search by what we know. So in this case, turtles. And you can see it also offers turtles, sea turtles, depending on whichever one you want or trying to want to focus on. And when you come into it, it's going to give you a nice selection for turtles. So we have an article that you can keep reading. We have quick facts. And we have even more about turtles. So you can start looking through to see what type of information you're going to want. So we have stuff from news. We have book articles. So you're welcome to try looking there. Now, if I go in to keep reading, it's going to show me the full article. Now, this is a level 1, so it's going to give you basic information, but it's going to be at a manageable reading level. So it's going to give you things like information you should know, words to know. Remember to use the subtitles, not subtitles, the subheadings that we have here to help you out, to figure out where you need to go. Now, again, this is going to be pretty basic right now, so if you feel like you're up to it, you can hit level 2, and it's going to give you much more information. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenging reading level. And, again, you can read through to find what you want. Find what you want, then write it down in your note-taking graphic organizer. Remember to fill up the box as much as possible so that you can answer a lot of your inquiry questions that we've had. Now, for this one, again, the article title is going to be Turtles. So I'm going to write down Turtles here. And remember, if you ever write something down, you want to move it, you can just hit the next side of the box. Make sure it has its 4 little arrows. Click and drag. The author in this case is going to be, let me just double check because, okay, so at the bottom here it gives us some information. So in this case I'm going to say Gale. So in this case it's going to be Gale. Now the year, in this case I would have said 2021, but as you can see here it says copyright 2020. So I'm going to use that since there was something there to show me what I want. Let's give me specifics on that. So in this case, 2020. And again, the link, Control C, and then Control V. And this one's going to be lengthier. So again, shrink it up. And just move it around however you need to use it. All right, so remember, especially the source information because we're going to be doing a little project with that later as well. So make sure that you remember this, my friends, because I want to make sure you're able to get the source information down as well as the notes that we have here. So make sure that you try your best, my friends. It's going to take some time to find a lot of information. Now we're going to come back later and talk about other places you can find information and where you can find the source information, what you should do when you're thinking about using it. But for now, focus on the database articles first because these are reliable sources, and then we're going to come back together and talk about additional sources we can use. If you have any questions about this, please email me, or you can just contact me at the school. So make sure that if you have something you need, let me know. I will see all of you later, and good luck researching, my friends.